Good morning friends, my name is Shashank Kushwaha and today we will be going through some of the basics related to Photoshop. So first, starting with the basics, we should have some of the prerequisites related to Photoshop already installed, and these prerequisites are dealing with the licenses of Photoshop and then how we are going to start. So Adobe consists of multiple kinds of licenses. One of those is a single app platform. So suppose if you want a license of only Photoshop, then how you are going to take the Photoshop license? It's around 700 rupees package, but in future I am sure that you will be requiring multiple applications to work on, because yes, Photoshop is a very nice tool and you will be want to explore some additional tools also, like Illustrator, XD, and also I will be posting a lot of tutorials related to these tools like XD, Illustrator, and Adobe Premiere. So I feel that you should have a very nice Creative Cloud license so that you can actually jump onto other tools as well. So in today's lessons we will be going through the basics of Adobe Photoshop, means the ground basics, what all tools are there, what are layer approaches and other things. So we will be going through those things first, and then we will move on to the other aspects of Photoshop. So without doing a further delay here, let's get started. So now we are going to start with the Photoshop, and you can see the home screen of Photoshop here. We have a layout where you have the first thing, build your skills, where you will be having all the tutorials coming up from Photoshop. You will also see the new updates that have been come in Photoshop. So those things you need to take care, because whenever a new update or new kind of lesson comes up, those you can see here. However, you can follow a normal community also to check what's the deal with Photoshop right now going on. Coming up, you can go down and you can see if you have already opened some previous projects, those you can see it in this screen. So this is always a home screen that will open up. Then you have a tab of home, which you are already into it, and then you have two more options like create new and open. So if you already know that you have to open a new image, and that image is placed in somewhere in the Explorer of your Windows, then you can go and browse through it. Otherwise you can go with the normal thing. So I will just go with creating a new application. Opens up something like this, and you see that one of the things that you have already opted from the before things, like suppose if you have already gone with a custom dimensions of 2000 cross 2000 pixels before, then that will be visible on the starting. On the right side you can see the preset details. Now preset details is the thing that whenever you get a requirement, or whenever you choose the type of device or the paper where you will be printing, or your documents will be visible, there you will be having these things. So you will be selecting the width and the height of that particular dimensions. This will be visible here, and you will see that you will be have a selection saying that okay, you want in pixels or inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, and picas. So these things you need to take care whenever you are starting. Usually people go with pixels, but once it comes to printing on large papers or banners, something like that, in that case you need to go through inches and centimeters and millimeters also. So whenever we are designing something related to mobile, you need to go for pixels. So we select pixels, and here you will be giving width. There can be, if you are, suppose you are designing for a normal web application kind of page, just to showcase the mock-up of the page, then it's like you will just go with a 16:9 ratio things. Okay, so right now we will just go with a normal 2000 cross 2000. Now you can see the orientation, you can change the orientation. So suppose if your image is a 16:9 like this, if you change the orientation, it becomes like this, and you will be getting in a vertical manner. So those things you need to take care. I guess a lot of things are understood for you, whatever things will be there. So coming to the resolution deals with all the clarity of the image, that how many pixels per inch will be visible. So the more pixels, the more amazing images will be there. However, from the current scenario, whichever devices are seeing, you can see some going up to very PPI is too much for those particular devices. So pixels per inch is too much. But how much people take the visibility of those, it's something different. So I guess for the normal human eye, we are okay with a very normal resolution of 96 ppi pixels per inch. Okay, so we can change also, we can go into pixels per centimeter as per the need of the hour, whatever you want, right? Now this is a bit of important thing, and sometimes you design the whole document and then you know that this document, whatever I have designed, is not in a proper color format. What is the color format that you want to know? So let me explain you clearly now. What happens is, whenever we are viewing any image on a device, like it's a mobile device, it's a laptop, or something in a web page you are viewing, whatever you are viewing, that is an RGB color, red, green, blue, RGB. Okay, so this is the color that you are using throughout your normal devices and everything, and it deals a bit different than what you have been seeing. But once it comes to the other color that you see here, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow. Okay, so this color is completely different, and this color mode is meant for printing the documents. So suppose if you are working in an agency or a photographer, and someone comes up and shows that, okay, this is my mobile, and in this mobile I have this picture kept. I want this picture to be printed on the photograph. After printing the particular picture on the photograph, you get a print and it looks a bit different. However, CMYK and RGB match to a level to give you a normal look. But what happens is, whenever a RGB image is printed on CMYK, color difference is created, and yes, there will be a bit of color difference. Maybe you will not notice a color that is so much problematic in CMYK and RGB conversion is one of the color is as blue. There are so many tones of blue in RGB, but once it comes into CMYK, it faces a lot of issues. So we will select CMYK or RGB based on it. Right now we are working on a normal screen, so we will just select RGB. Okay, so there are multiple advanced options below this that right now please don't manage on it, because you will be very rarely using these options right now, because if you see square pixels, you will never want to make a different kind of pixels. You don't want to make a rectangular pixel in that. Okay, so most of the things you will be having is related to square pixels. Okay, here was the custom UI, custom size that you wanted to have, but right now I've chosen 2096 with a pixels per inch of 96 and RGB color. Background contents, I will say white. This is the default layer that will be there. In case you want to remove it in future, you can remove it. So let's get started with the create. Now this is our main screen of Adobe, and you have already landed into the amazing world of Photoshop. Okay, so the first thing that I want to tell you related to Photoshop is the layout. Layout is very important, and it depends differently to different. Like, as a professional, if I am a graphics designer and I want something that, okay, I want these tool presets to be saved for me like this, so I will go on the top. You can see something on the right here. This right is the set of already defined profiles of how your layout should be visible. Okay, so essentials covers a lot of things. Is a normal lander like you, or If you are a very great designer, that's different, but yeah, if even I now use Essentials. So Essentials is like this. You see a layout, you see some things here, you see some tool presets here, and on the top some toolings are there. You can move these things. If you see, if I want to move, you can see this particular preset already there. Okay, you can move this. I will keep this there right now. Let's keep it. Okay, so let me show you a very nice thing here. So I have touched the preset. Now I want to bring this in. Okay, so let me bring here. You see, so I have brought this in. Okay, now I will go here and I will change a 3D. The things change. Okay, similarly for graphics and web, the complete UI of the application changes. So it depends on the type of professional. You can change the way. Even you can create a type of workspace that you want, how you want the things to be visible. Those things you can create it. Okay, so let's go to Essentials and just imagine that we are at the right place. Normally only we will just continue like this. Okay, coming up to the panels for this particular tool, Mr. Photoshop, I will just check one of the images and drag and drop. So let me go and check some images right now. Here I have some downloaded image in my documents panel desktop. Let me check that. So let me bring this on. This is a simple image that you see right now. Okay, what I did was remove this. This is my image. Even if you see, this is a normal thing. You will just bring this up and put it. So this is how you are exporting the image. Also you can go to file, open. 1 minute, I will just. So whenever you place the image, you have to click on this. So this you should understand. If I do something like this, cancel the transform, it will just cancel it like this. It goes off. So you need to understand that what needs to be done. Also I will just select this maybe. Okay, yeah, here, and I just set this. So your image is already there and you see the image placed on the right place. Documents are properly aligned, and if you move something, it will tell you that if they are in center or not. On the top also you see a line coming in. Your documents get moved up properly so that it becomes a center aligned from all the ends. So some things are properly managed. Coming up to the next thing, from the panels on the left and the panels on the right. Before that, we will just check if some of the windows or the window that you want in the tool is not visible right now. So in that case, what you will do is go here and check on this. So now you see the gradient window here, right? So a lot of things will be coming here. Like I wanted to place a different gradient and it comes over this, right? This is a normal color overlay that comes over it. So these things you need to take care. Means a lot of things are there. We will see. Even in window, I remove the gradients now. I don't want anything extra than what I am seeing right now. Okay, so in window, other things are also there. A lot of things are there, like navigator. I see the document, how to zoom into document. Suppose if I have already zoomed, I can just move the navigator to a particular level and check like where I am editing. So if you see that I am editing, suppose I am editing somewhere here, I am placing some document related things here. Then through navigator you can just move to some particular place and you still know that okay, my data was here somewhere. So I have just placed it. Okay, and you see one more panel right now here. These are the some kind of panels that are not very much important, but still they are on the left side so that you have a quick access to those. So now what else is there? I will just Zoom down. Now how a zoom down is, you have to normally in Windows or normal photographs, whenever you will be zooming in, it's with CTRL, that is control, and then you scroll the mouse up. I am doing the same here. It doesn't happen because here it's completely different. Here you have to press Alt on Windows and then scroll up down. Okay, so this is clear that all the zoom functionalities will be working with this. Now coming to some of the things like what all basic functionalities of Photoshop is. So I will go one by one tool. So right now if you see, this is a selection tool, normal selection tool that is placed here. This is the, I'm sorry, that was the move tool, normal move tool that is working here. Now one more thing I will be telling before telling all those things. Let's see this phase. If you see at the starting of the document, whenever we started with, we told that the background should be white, and this is what we see. Now if you remove this, this particular area tells that this is transparent. Okay, the size of the documents remains the same, but the area, this area that you see is a transparent area. Means there will be no color blended with that particular area. And if I remove this particular thing, layer also goes. Now the basic functionality of Adobe Photoshop that we see, the first thing that it works on the layers approach. Whenever we are adding something over a particular image, it becomes a layer, and then you do a lot of manipulations over the layer to merge all those and form a very precise image out of that. And what Adobe Photoshop does is completely different from some of the other tools, that is Illustrator. If you see, they work on the vector arts. Photoshop is a raster based image tool. What we do here is completely different from other tools. Here if I save an image to a particular format, if you zoom to a certain level, a huge level maybe, depends on the type of image that you have chosen, size that you have chosen, or the PPI pixels per inch that you have chosen, the image will blast off after some time. But what you see here, that for the requirement that you are making, this tool gives you a very good option to do a manipulation. So just to tell something about the layers, you can move this up. Here I move this. Okay, this I button tells that you can switch this off layer. So this layer gets switched off if I press on the I button. Whenever a new document is created or you are opening a new layer, lock will be always on. On this lock, you cannot perform the action. Like I cannot perform any action on this particular image. You can see, right? I cannot move on this, but I can move these. So this is the base document that you can see right now. Now you see. After unlocking the layer, that background has become a movable layer and the size remains same, but I can move this layer and I can perform any of the changes that I want to do on the particular image that I have loaded in the layer. Okay. Coming into some of the other presets related to this, now I will just add one more image. If you okay, so now you see one more thing that you should need to know here right now is whenever I press CTRL plus T, I can transform the image. CTRL plus T helps in it. Okay, or sometimes people will place the image here and they want to just transform it, transforms like this. Maybe they want something like transforming like somewhere here till like this, they will do like this. Okay, but you have placed the image in the center. In that case, what you will do? You will press Alt and then do it like this. It transforms from the center, if you see, right? Otherwise, how it was transforming? It was transforming the sideways. So this thing you need to take care whenever you are transforming the object, and it helps in some of the work whenever you are doing something really fast. If you know these commands, you do it very faster. So let me transform this into center. I will press Alt and transform it properly. Okay. Now the next thing that we see right now is the selection tool here. There are some things that are left on the right side. I will go because this will be covered in the future lessons, and I want to cover those in future lessons only, because that's how we are going to understand the things, and that's how we need to do it. Okay, so let me go with something different right now, and I will place another image on this particular image. Here I go. You see, another layer got created over the particular layer which I already have. If I zoom this, I see that layer, right? I can place this layer somewhere here, if you see, maybe somewhere here. And if I save this document as, go to File, Save, it will ask me to save on your computer. The previous versions of Adobe Photoshop were not having this option to save to cloud documents, because now you have a Creative Cloud license, so you can save everything into the Photoshop Creative Cloud, and then or else you can just save onto your computer. So this new thing came into Creative Cloud 2020 Photoshop. So you need to this is very helpful for me, because I will just go with the cloud documents, okay, and I can access things from there. So now you can see, you can have a lot of things like this and manipulate the objects. So I will keep this like somewhere here. Okay, take on this. Cool. So we have a lot of things amazing here right now. Okay, now what to do next? We'll see what to do next. Okay, in this video you learned the basics of Photoshop and which all functionalities are there in Photoshop, what all UI is there in Photoshop. There were a lot of things that we learned a lot, and now in the next future video that we are going to have, it will contain all the tools that are there in Photoshop and how we are going to use those tools for manipulating the images, as well as the manipulations over the smart object layers. Everything will be really fun, and I hope that you will like that also. I hope that you like this video, and if you think that I have missed something in this video, please do comment on this video and tell me what I can improve in this. Thanks a lot for watching this video.